to convey the message of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I pray to the Almighty Allah that Allah accepts these efforts of yours in listening to this message. As I pray to the Almighty Allah that Allah accepts these efforts of yours in my efforts in delivering this message and your efforts in listening to this message. Many of our youngsters today are confused with regards to the concept of taqleed and whether it is permissible to actually follow a madhab or not. So much so that you have today an insignificant minority, due to ignorance, who have gone as far as saying this: that making taqleed is shirk. Much has been said by the scholars before me. And one thing you will have learned today is that in the light of the Quran and Sunnah, and as a result of verses of Quran like فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنكُمْ وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ. As a result of verses like this, you will have learned not only is taqleed permissible, it is compulsory upon every individual that has not reached the level of ijtihad. What I'm going to say and what I'm going to add to what has already been said is this: that since the doors of ijtihad have closed, and it's been about 1,000 years, every master that has come has followed one of the four schools of thought. He either followed the Hanafi school of thought, the Maliki school of thought, the Shafi'i school of thought, or the Hanbali school of thought. That is every mufassir that has come. Every muhaddith, every master of the Quran, every master of the Hadith, and every mu'arrikh, every historian that has come after the doors of ijtihad were closed, has followed one of the four schools of thought, and he has made taqleed. And the scholars that I make a mention of, if you want to sort of get a rough idea of how much knowledge these scholars possess, then what I would say to you is this: all the scholars that we have today, irrespective of what school of thought that they follow, if you were to take them, and if you were to take the knowledge that they possessed, and you were to place them in one part of the balance, and you were to take just one of these scholars that I make a mention of and his knowledge, and you were to place him in the second part of the balance, you will realize that the knowledge this one master possessed would outweigh the knowledge all the scholars of this day and age possess. Put together. I mean, my young friends, you had the likes of the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Who was the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani? In the world of knowledge, in the world of ilm, in any book, when the word hafiz is mentioned by itself, then there is only one person that is being referred to, and that is none other than the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Some scholars, like the great Jalaluddin Suyuti rahmatullah alayhi, who follow the Shafi'i school of thought, this man himself was phenomenal. He's a man of over 500 works. he would describe the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani as a sign from amongst the signs of Allah. These are powerful words from a powerful man. A sign from amongst the signs of Allah. Some scholars would describe the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani as the second Bayhaqi. Some went as far as saying this, that Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani was the Imam al-Bukhari of his time. And the great master, Izzuddin Abdul Salam al-Maqdisi Shaykh al-Salahiyya, went as far as saying this, إِن لَمْ يَكُنْ مِثْلَ الْبُخَارِ فَلَا يَقْصُرْ عَنْهُ. That if he was not like Bukhari, one thing is for sure, that the status of this man was no less than the status of the great Bukhari himself. But the Muhaddith of Hijaz, Najmuddin Umar ibn Fahd, he would say, فَلَوْ حَلَلْتُ بَيْنَ الرُّكْنِ وَالْمَكَامِ وَحَلَفْتُ أني ما رأيت بعيني مثله ولم ترى عين من رآه مثله ولا رأت عينه مثل نفسه لبرت. He would say that if I was to stand between the black stone, the Hajar Aswad, and the Maqam Ibrahim and the place of Ibrahim, and while standing there I took an oath, I took a qasam, I swear by Allah, my eyes have never seen a scholar like the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. And then I took this oath a step further, and I said, I swear by Allah, the eyes of those that have seen Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani have never seen a scholar like him. Then I took this oath even further, and I said, I swear by Allah, the eyes of Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani have never seen a man like himself. Then my oath would stand, and I would not have violated my oath. You know, when the great Hafiz al-Iraqi was on the point of death, and in a minute I'm going to tell you who Hafiz al-Iraqi was. When he was on the point of death, and he was asked the million-dollar question, who have you left behind you? Who can take your place? Which scholar can take your seat? The great Hafiz al-Iraqi mentioned three people. The first scholar that he mentioned was the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. The second scholar that he mentioned was the great son of his, Abu Zur'a. And the third scholar that he mentioned was the great Haythami. You know, the remarkable thing is, when Iraqi made a mention of Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, that he is the person that I'm leaving behind that will be able to take my place, in terms of knowledge, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani was only 33 years of age, which in terms of knowledge is this, that he was only a child. In terms of knowledge, 33 is like a baby. Now, for you to understand what the great Iraqi said, let me put it into context. Who was the great Iraqi? Hafiz al-Iraqi. My friends, he memorized the Quran at the age of 8. Hafiz al-Iraqi, he memorized the entire Quran at the age of 8. He memorized half of Al-Hawi, a book in Islamic jurisprudence on the fiqh of Shafi'i. He memorized half of this book in 15 days. You can say subhanAllah, but I know you haven't comprehended what I've said, because you don't know what Al-Hawi is, nor have you seen it. So what I'm going to say to you is, when this conference finishes, and you can actually find a library that's got this, go have a look at it. And then open it and look at the text of this book. And when you see this, now you will say to me, that this is beyond belief. How could you have memorized half of this book in 15 days? And when you say this to me, I will turn around and say to you, let me tell you, my brother, forget how we put it to one side. He memorized 40 400 lines